This is Brother Jamal bringing you another um, video here on my YouTube channel. And inshallah, I pray that you can get us on the sound is good enough. We have this on my tablet. Have it up as far as I can go with the sound. I'm working on getting a microphone to go with this so we can get good quality sound. But in the meantime, inshallah, I pray that you can be able to hear me. As I said, once again, I'm Brother Jamal on my YouTube channel. If you get this video, you get a chance to pick it up, hit the subscribe button. You'll be, in the loop on when we, get ready to do another video or put one up. Give us comments, questions, whatever you may have on your mind. We ask you also to try to share this with as many people as you can. Try to share this with many people as you can, because it's extremely important. We have continued to use the theme for all of our videos we've been dropping on maintaining justice. You see that theme podcast, maintaining justice, and I usually throw up a date on that. So this we're still in that theme, maintaining justice, extremely important. And this is a commandment that comes from Allah. Allah tells us and says to us, instructs us, if we are to maintain justice in any form, it has to be done with fairness. If we are to maintain justice with the people, it has to be done in fairness. That's the only way you can maintain justice. And so, when you look around the country today, there's no maintaining justice. What it is they have picked up the banner of maintaining injustice. That's what it is, maintaining injustice. That's the whole theme. And so we see that. We see it all around us. Let me go on record once again, as I always do. Our young brother, Abdul Sharif, who was murdered here in Des Moines, Iowa. We call it murder because that's what we believe it was. And nowadays, when a black man comes up, anything happens to a black person, usually nowadays, they automatically rush to suicide. If you notice that, same thing in the case with Abdul Sharif. He was automatically, in the end, they said he committed suicide. And so this is the growing thing now, is to say when a black person, something happens, especially if it's a black man, a black woman, even a black teen, usually it's suicide, because that closes the case. They don't have to do no work, no investigation, nothing. And so we believe, Allah knows best, we believe that Abdul Sharif was murdered, and we believe what the authorities say is not true. We believe it to be a lie. We do not believe what they saying about he committed suicide. We don't believe that. We believe that he was murdered, and we stand firmly on that. So I wanted to make that real clear. Just here the last couple of days, I had read something, I think it was yesterday, where a group of organizations here in Des Moines had got together, and they kind of announced a state of emergency for black people throughout the state of Iowa because of recent hate crimes and recent incidents of things that are happening. And this is kind of the sentiment of really of black people across the country. It's kind of a state of emergency, because here's what happens oftentimes. Black people in the black community, they end up calling 911, or they call the authorities thinking that they're calling for help. And normally what happens is when they get there, the very people that they call for help, and they're turning on them, because it's already this hatred This white supremacist attitude is already there. So when they come out anywhere in the black community, you may be calling for whatever, but what's going to usually end up happening is they're going to come and they're going to end up killing you, killing your family. Anything could jump off. But I'm saying you're not calling for help. You're going to end up being the perpetrator, and they're going to end up calling the authorities on you. When you call 911, they're going to come to you like you're a criminal, like you did something. So this is what happens. So we're saying that in these cases where we see all across the country, it's happening everywhere. We saw one situation in Galveston, Texas, where they were marching a black man down the street. The police officer on a horseback, he has a rope around his neck, marching him down the street. We see another situation in Montgomery, Alabama, where they let one of those canine dogs off on a black man, and it ate his flesh. They ended up killing him. It ate his flesh. They let the dog just eat his flesh off his body. That's what they do in killing him in Montgomery, Alabama. So we see this happening all across the country. And look, we need to be real clear. Yes, it's a state of emergency. We're in solidarity with all the cities around the country, and also here in Iowa. A state of emergency simply means that black people are not safe. They are not safe. That's what that means. See? They are not safe. You're supposed to feel safe. You should be safe. But this white supremacist attitude that they have. Let me give you a good example, because some of our people are so naive and so thinking that this would never happen. First of all, in Iowa, in the United States, thinking this will never happen. But let me draw you some parallels on history. For all of you all who don't know about history, maybe think that this was a make-believe, maybe think that it didn't happen, just like people think today that this wouldn't happen now. During the height of the Civil Rights Movement and the Black Power Movement and the Human Rights Movement in the early 50s, all through that period up to the 80s, and still even today, but I'm just going to take you back in the day. The same thing that you see happening today, they did it back in 1950. They did it back in 1960. They did it back in 68, 69, 70. The same thing. During the height of the movement, Civil Rights Movement, Birmingham, Alabama, they turned the K9 dogs loose on people just like they doing today. See? Turn them loose. K9 dogs. Only thing that should have happened, somebody should have beat that dog to death, or somebody should have shot him. That's the only thing. See? So the same thing that we see happening today, and we probably think that it won't occur, it won't happen. Yes, it will, because it's already happened, it already occurred. See? All the things that you see happening in today's time, these things have happened before. And let me tell you the ignorant part about this. I say ignorant. The house Negroes and the ignorant black people who line themselves up with the Republican Party. They are no different than the slave master who bought our people and sold our people on the auction block. They no different. No different, y'all. I don't care how many it is. I don't care they no different. They mindset, they got a sickness in their mind, just like they did before. See? And what happened before, those black people who, now they black as far as color-wise, you can see their color. But their minds are messed up, y'all. Their minds are gone. House Negroes, their minds are gone. They way in some other land. See, just like you have black people, and you have some Muslims today, somehow to support the Republicans because they close to doing right or being righteous, close to Islam. Anytime the Holy Quran tells us that if you are going to judge between people, you have to judge with fairness. Where has the fairness come when it comes to black people brown, yellow, poor people in this country, where the fairness come from the Republican Party? Where's the fairness come from? These people have aligned themselves up with the white supremacist group. That's what they've lined themselves up with. That's they that's they that's their role model. And so all you house Negroes out there who align yourself up with them, when they throw a rope up and lynch you or tar and feather you or decide to gang up on you and beat you, burn you, then don't be shocked and don't be crying and don't be hollering and whining and going on, see? Because they always end up turning on you, or they always end up reminding you of what you are. I know you think you have expired to be equal and be on the same plateau as they are. I know you be thinking that. But they have a good way of reminding you just what they think of you and who they think you are. And today's time, you see all these black people running around with these hats on, Make America Great, looking like straight up fools, y'all. Looking like straight up house Negroes. That's all the way I can describe them. See? And if you're one of those black people who support the Republican Party behind closed doors, that's fine. See? But you need to ask yourself, what's wrong with your mentality? What has happened to your thinking? I ain't saying the Democrats are all that great, but I'm saying here's a side of the aisle. And for all those black people, please hear me well. Please hear me well. Here's a Republican Party who is identified, lining themselves up with white supremacists. So where did that put you at? Where does that put you at? I don't care, praying for them, you know, you can do all that stuff. See, I'm asking the simple question this morning. Where does it put these black people and house Negroes who have lined themselves up with the Republican Party, who has identified themselves and lined themselves with white supremacists? Where does that put you at? If you're black, if you're Muslim, whoever you may be, where does that put you at? See? Because if you line yourself up with them, then you might as well line yourself up with them all the way. It can't be bits and pieces, or you want to choose what you want to law. It's not like that. If you identify yourself with them, then you have to go and line yourself up with them. You have to be with them, see? And let me tell you something. Between now, Allah knows best, between now and January, we're going to see a lot of things happen in this country. And the people who line themselves up, these Negroes, these house Negroes, line themselves with white supremacists, you're going to get a rude awakening. You're going to get a big shock. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get a big shock and a big rude awakening. You line yourself up with white supremacists. And like I said, the house Negroes are no different than the people that sold ourselves on the auction block. This takes us all the way to Black Friday. You participate, go out and spend money on Black Friday. You might as well, you just like the slave owners, the masters who sold our people on the slave auction blocks on that day. That's where Black Friday come from. And if you go out and spend on that day, you just as bad as the people that sold and bought our people. You just as bad. What's the difference? What is the difference? You spending money, see? You making their pockets fat. So there's no difference. And I don't know why is it so hard for us to understand this? We be the last ones to wake up and realize when something is going on. The thing is here now, y'all. This is it. So all those groups and organizations who identify the state of emergency for black people, yes, that's exactly what it is right here in the state of Iowa. That's exactly what it is. We're small in population, but still. And we need to be watchful. We need to be careful. See, as we go forward, we need to be aware of our surroundings all the time. I know some of the young people, they don't think about this. They don't even faze them. But let me tell you, when these people decide to do something to you, you think they're going to care about you young? You going to think they're going to care about that? They'd be quicker probably to do something to you because you are young. See? Could be a brother or sister. You be caught in the wrong place, wrong time, and you can be caught up in whatever you're doing. When these people decide to do something to you or try to take your life, they ain't gonna care nothing about that. See? And we don't understand it. These brothers going around here warring and shooting at each other and bickering at each other. Let me tell you something. you ought to be holding that, because you're gonna get chance to throw it down. See, when they come knocking on your door to drag you and your family out to the slaughterhouse, what you gonna do to them? Are you gonna be quick to throw down on them? I mean, I know you're quick to throw down on the brother, you know, over some nonsense, y'all. Don't even make no sense. Don't even amount to nothing. And I wonder sometime, will we be that quick to throw down when the white supremacists come to your house? And they ain't necessarily gonna knock on your door. They kick your door in, see? And they gonna have all kind of stuff. So I be wondering if you be that quick to throw down on them like you do on your brother. Like these young brothers are going around here shooting each other. For what? For what? See? So once again, I'm just saying to you that we're living in a serious time, and it's serious enough that we ought to be conscious and aware of our surroundings all the time. All the time, y'all. Serious. It's serious time we're living in. Ain't no playtime. And as we go forward and as get close to this election, we're going to see more crazy stuff go on. We're going to hear about, witness, probably see a lots of things that we never thought would happen. Because see, we think because we in, I guess in the U.S., we think that these things wouldn't happen here. They can happen in other places, but we always think that they won't happen here. And that's the most foolish way of thinking, the most naive way of thinking, the most negative way of thinking. If something happens in one place, it can happen anywhere. Look, the white supremacists, they tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan. You think that they gonna stop there? You know? And that's just a small segment of them. They have a huge group across this country, in every state, y'all. Every state. And so this is the this is the most insane part about it. You got black people who have lined themselves up to the Republican Party. And you know they get into this religious thing about the Republicans are closest to Christianity, the closest to Islam. Okay. What about the white supremacists? You consider them to be close to Islam and Christianity too? Because that's what you're talking about. You might well blend the white supremacists. Forget about the Republican Party. You might well blend the white supremacists right in there. And just remove the Republican Party and say white supremacist party. That's might be what you might well do. And you might well, when they decide to have a rally, have a Klan meeting, you might well go there. You know, socialize with them, kick it with them, you know, whatever. You might well go there. When they throw a rope up or something inside to hang you and throw gasoline on and set you on fire, don't be shocked and surprised. See, if you're in love with them that much like that, and you want to be around them that much, then go ahead and join the party. You know, go ahead and say, you know, why don't y'all put a rope around my neck? Why don't y'all throw gasoline? Why don't y'all torture me? You know, all that, because that's what you're talking about. Any black person in today's time identifies themselves with the Republican Party, you know, different than the people that sold our people on the slave auction block. You know, different. Color-wise, you the same color, but mine, that's why I say something detrimental has happened to these black folks' mind that line themselves up with white supremacists. Something has happened to their mind. Seriously, y'all. Seriously. You know? So I'm just saying, this is a time really for us to be aware and be conscious of our surroundings all the time. You know? All the time. It's a time. And so, as we get ready to close out this video, I just want to bring you this message today. As black people, we have a right to self-defense. We have a right to protect ourselves. You know, any kind of fool is not going to just let somebody come and break in their house. If you single, girlfriend, boyfriend, family, whatever, you're not going to just sit by and welcome the person to come in your house, break in, take what they want to take, do what they want to do to your family, and then just leave. If you're smart, this is the question, I guess. If you're smart, you're going to protect yourself. And you have a right to self-defense. See, you have a right to protect yourself. Somebody's coming in your house. You think they're coming in to have tea and coffee and cookies with you? They're coming in to do you harm. You can be single, you can have a family, girlfriend, boyfriend. However, they are coming in to do you harm. If somebody breaks in your house, or if an intruder comes in your house, he's coming to hurt you. So at that point, you better have something to protect yourself and your family. You have a right to self-defense. The other last point I want to mention, and this is extremely important, for all those people out there, whatever city that you're in, when you see these wicked police officers doing some of the most filthy stuff they do, wickedness, evil, in large numbers, you guys need to be out and start hollering, telling them to stop, telling them it's wrong. Have enough people out on the street that it would deter them from doing what they're doing to people. See, forget about that filming and videoing and put that on social media. That's not doing any good. See, you can continue to do it, but you look at all the police officers who have murdered people, and they have proof of what they have did, and right as we speak, most of them are out on the street somewhere. They ain't locked up or nothing. So I'm saying it needs to be a large segment of people, all colors, all national, all races, who know right from wrong. And when they see these wicked police officers doing something, you need to come out in large numbers. See, on the street, wherever it's taking place, and begin to be vocal about what they are doing. Let them know it's wrong. You know, yelling, hollering, stop. You know, whatever. You need to do this, because these white supremacist police officers, they have gone beyond policing. They have a white supremacist mentality, see, of hatred towards black people. That's it. See, towards people of color, towards yellow, brown, and black people, towards poor people. They have a white supremacist mentality. Those white supremacists that we had back in the day, George Wallace, Bull Connor, Jim Clark, Lester Maddox, Strom Thurmond, all of this white supremacists, the White Citizen Council. These people today, they are the White Citizens Council / Republican Party. That's what they are. No different. That group that was back then, they no different than the group today. Today's time, they're probably more vicious. These white supremacist police officers, no different than the police officers that was in Birmingham, Alabama in 1963, with this wicked person called Bull Connor, with this wicked governor of Alabama called George Wallace, the wicked deputy sheriff of Selma, Alabama, Jim Clark. All of that was wickedness, y'all, just like what we see today's time. Just like what we see today's time, no different. And for all you newcomers who just came to America, and you may see black people in a different light, you know, the drugs and shooting, killing, that's what some people see black people as. Well, you go back and look at 1950. Look at some old videos of 1950. Look at some old videos of the civil rights and the black power and human rights movement of that era. And you will see what was happening then is what's happening today. See? Because some people come and have this negative image of black people and think, well, if black people wasn't doing this wouldn't happen, they weren't doing this, well, that has nothing to do with it. It's happening because they're black. See? It's happening because these people have never viewed black people as being human, not being human beings. Why would you go across to another part of the world, kidnap people, kidnap them, y'all? Not they came here on their own, kidnap them, and had some house Negroes to help them, bring them here, enslave them. See, enslave them. How do you call that freedom? See? And then people got the nerve, because people don't stand for the national anthem. Why would they stand? That's like a joke, y'all. Because the words they say, they don't mean it. The words that are repeated in the national anthem, they don't mean it. They don't mean none of that stuff. It don't mean nothing. And then you had the founding fathers had the nerve to say that all men are created equal, and they got slaves. What kind of crap is that, y'all? How can you say that all men are created equal and then you own slaves? That's like you talking out of both sides of your mouth. That's what that's like, y'all. You talking out of both sides of your mouth, which is a liar and a hypocrite, and makes you wicked, makes you evil. See? So I'm saying let's get real about this stuff, y'all. This is a state of emergency for black people in this country. Yes, it is. And we need to be on high alert. You know how they always be talking about high alert? The black community needs to be on high alert. That's what it needs to be, y'all. Okay, peace.